All right, that says 1 and 2, so I guess we're live, right?
Sweet.
Grizz Nation, we are back on a good note. Coming back with a W, so that's always a good one, a road win. But before we go into the what we're going to be talking about, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts at, guys. That greatly helps us out with the algorithms of all those things that I have no clue anything about. But yeah, rate, review, and subscribe. You can also rate and review and subscribe on the YouTube channel at FCS Fans Nation, and check out all the different other podcasts that they have there. And then also just give us a review. It's always, I think we're at like 30 on Apple
Very cool.
podcasts. So keep on getting us those reviews and those 5 stars. But before we get into the Idaho win, there are some huge things to praise Montana athletics. Luke, what did you see today?
Well, I was, browsing Twitter as I do, or X, whatever you call it. And I noticed that Eric Tabor was posting how the Grizz had one heck of a perfect weekend this weekend. We had, looks like 2 wins for girls soccer, 2 wins for volleyball, the big win up in Idaho against number 3 Idaho. But then Grizz softball had 4 wins, and then men's tennis swept this weekend. And then cross country, awesome. I guess, had some great results too. So apparently the Grizz as a whole were just doing a lot of winning this weekend, which is pretty freaking sweet.
That is awesome. Softball coming, their schedule is so weird. Like they don't play a lot of their games until a lot of the home games until the spring.
Yeah.
And then I think they have like a mid fall and then a spring season, don't they?
I think so. And then even with the softball in Montana, you never know when you might get snow.
Yeah.
So the weather could change. Even in the spring, it could be April and they could be playing in snow. So that's got to make it a little difficult for those girls. But one more reason to get the indoor practice facility too, because I'm sure they could use it too.
Yeah. Well, when they play in teams that have, when they go to California, those teams, it's softball weather all year long. So it looks like they played North Idaho, or they actually played in Missoula. So North Idaho twice, and they lost to Carroll once. They beat Carroll. They played MSUB twice and beat them. They played Providence again. So they're so this is just the quick schedule, not their actual schedule. So I think they're like little exhibition games, I believe, just to get into the kind of the rotation of the schedule. So, but congrats to them. That's amazing. Continue that momentum from the season. So,
heck yeah.
Grizz update as well, guys. If you have not watched some Grizz volleyball, definitely go do that. Thursday, you're gonna have to watch them on ESPN Plus. They are in Sacramento, California. They'll play at 8:00 Mountain Time. So definitely go check them out. They only have they've probably got like another month of the schedule left. And they're on a road swing. They'll play Saturday at Portland State, again at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, our time. So they're on the road this week. But soccer is in Missoula. Their last 2 games of the season, which it's just so weird. They have such a quick schedule. It's crazy. Just because there's not many teams that have in the Big Sky that have soccer.
Right.
So they play Sacramento State in Missoula this Thursday at 3 p.m. So definitely if you're in Missoula, go check it out. If not, you got the ESPN Plus app there. And then Sunday they're at noon is their last regular season game at noon. So definitely go support them. And then they'll just go right into the Big Sky tournament, which is in Flagstaff.
Oh, it's in Flagstaff, because it seems like the last few years it's been down in northern Colorado.
Yeah. I think they kind of go back and forth. Like last year was in northern Colorado, and the year before that, I believe, was in Flagstaff. Which I think they should I think
high
they should
elevation
bring
there at Flagstaff. I'm going, Jesus.
exactly right. Well, and I think
It
that should
seems
be
like
like
the
flip
Flagstaff
it.
girls get an advantage.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, flip it. It should be like the number one team gets home field advantage, kind of like basketball was way back when.
Yeah, that would be
That
cool.
would be
Or,
that would
you
be
know, maybe
awesome.
one of those California schools where we know the weather's going to be good.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Flagstaff, what they're probably playing? Are they playing inside the?
Well, that's what I keep wondering if they're playing. We talked about it before, if they're playing in the
Yeah,
Wacom Sky Dome or not. I don't know.
I
But
don't know. They probably aren't, but wow, that does seem like an
yeah,
unfair advantage.
it does. It just feels like a little bit. But,
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't think it matters to our girls soccer team.
No.
They're pretty damn tough, and their head coach, old Christian Nowitzki, will have them ready to roll, I think.
Well, and they've got to win one game, and they'll be regular season Big Sky champions. So
nice.
they are ahead, I believe, like 2 or 1 point or 1 or 2 points above Portland State. So they've got to win one game, and so then if they tie those games, it doesn't matter either. So they just can't lose to Portland State, because Portland State's the one that they're battling for the Big Sky. So
Gotcha.
men's and women's basketball starts off with their inaugural maroon and silver scrimmage Tuesday, tomorrow, as we're recording this. The women are at 5:30. The men are at 7:00. So cool. Definitely go support them. I know that the women's team lost one of their guards, Dornasky, who is a All-American, McDonald's All-American selectee. So she'll be out for the year, but they've got a lot of talent on that women's basketball team that is reloading and has a lot of talent on that team. So
I've been hearing a lot of good things and whispers that we may have one heck of a Lady Grizz basketball team this year, and they may be able to do some stuff. So
I think
exciting.
Yeah, I think so too. And from all accounts, I've been hearing some things about the men's basketball team as well, just being a really good team as well. They've got a lot of things in place where they're coming back as well. So be interesting to see the new keys and see what they can plug in and how they can respond. So I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. So I love talking basketball. So
I know, like, it was funny when I was a kid growing up in Missoula, we'd always go to the Lady Grizz games. Like that was big. In the 90s. They were huge. So that was a big thing back then. So now, I mean, it seems like both of them just help fill that place and do a great job. So I love seeing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I got for Grizz updates, but definitely go support them.
I did look it up. So at NAU, they do play outside. They don't play in the Wacom Sky Dome. Yep, they play outside. Okay. So,
man, that just seems unfair. We got to write the commissioner.
Thin fresh air.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Like I said, it won't matter for our girls because they're tough. They're like, we'll go anywhere and play and beat your ass.
And they already beat Northern Arizona at Northern Arizona once this year. So
they know what they're in for. So
well, let's talk about this game, man.
Oh, there was a game this last weekend?
I think there was, right? I think there was a win.
Yeah. That game. Holy cow.
23-21.
What a game. What a game of emotions. From the first half to the second half to, oh my gosh. I mean, I think when we saw Bobby at the end running, and like it was hilarious because the announcers didn't know what was going on. I think they still thought that we had to snap the ball, but they weren't like, well, obviously watching the play clock, and then he runs out there jumping. I've never seen him act like that, like, publicly. I loved it. I thought it was
raising
great.
him up.
Yeah, they were like, I was like, oh my god, are they gonna carry him off on his shoulders or something? I was like, but it was really cool to see the emotions, and I think as much as they were playing it off last week, like, oh no, we're not too fired up about last year and stuff. They were ready for it. They definitely had a really bad taste in their mouth, and they wanted to show what we could do. And man, just so glad we got the W.
I know. I don't know how many texts I got that said, who is this? Who is this team? Like seriously, like who is this team? So
Well, so
totally,
we were texting a little bit during the game.
yeah.
And I was getting texts from like South Dakota State fans, USD fans. Like it was amazing how many people were watching that game, other FCS fans,
Oh yeah.
just to see what the Grizz were and stuff. And like just it was funny to listen to some of the questions I was getting about players on our team and stuff. And there was a lot of eyes on it. I'd love to hear what the numbers were.
I haven't heard.
I haven't heard yet
the
either.
numbers
I'd
yet
love
either.
to find out what we were at, because I mean, I think it was a pretty highly watched game. You got two top teams playing who people know the Vandals and they know the Grizz. And there wasn't a lot of the other big games on right at that time. So
No, and
it wouldn't surprise me if we had some good numbers off that.
Yeah, the animosity between everybody too.
Mm-hmm.
The fans chanting F the Grizz, and our players. There's a couple photos of us flipping people off, and
there's photos I've seen them, our fans flipping their players off, and it's the one thing about it. It's like, oh my gosh, this rivalry feels like it's renewed.
Yeah,
because it was big back in the 80s and 90s, and then once Idaho left for that FBS, it kind of fell off, and then we didn't play them again until 2000 where we beat them. But it feels like it's renewed. The Kibbe Dome was sold out, and I mean, I saw I think it was Sean Rainey or Kyle Hansen that posted that photo of their student section acting like Cat fans, and I was actually like, if I'm a player, I'm fired up right now. It's like, go ahead, talk all you want. And they went out, and I think that motivated guys even more. They went out and shut them up.
Oh yeah, real quick.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, and I think it backfired. To start the game, I think the Grizz were surprised, and I was surprised too, because they deferred to the second half, and they always
that really
the ball.
Surprised me. Yeah.
Yeah.
They always take the ball.
Yeah. So. Well, and I think once Bobby saw that, he even said, if we won the toss, we knew right then that if we got out on them and just did not let up, that we got a big enough lead. They don't like playing from behind.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, you wouldn't think so, but man alive, tale of two halves.
Their goal is to do kind of what we were doing a little bit. We were playing the same thing against them, where it's like, grab the ball and just keep your offense off the field. Yeah. And they'll literally run that play clock down to 5 seconds in the first half. They do that stuff. So when we get that lead, that definitely helps us. They have to change their game, and to go down and score like that right away. They hadn't trailed yet this year.
Yeah.
So us getting the first score, I mean, even that little thing flips the mindset a little bit. Like, oh geez. So I'm sure that they took the ball or went on defense thinking, oh, the Grizz. I mean, they weren't respecting us. I don't think. They're like, there's no way they're going to score. We'll get the ball back. We'll score, and then at halftime, we'll get the ball back again and score again. So it was nice seeing the opposite of that in the first half.
Yeah. Well, and I was amazed. Just like the by the second half, up 20-7. Up on them. What was it? 13-0 at one point, and then 16. I think it was like
17-0.
17-0. It was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's keep this going.
I know. It was like, it's happening. It's happening. I didn't know what to think. I'm just going, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's just, I didn't sit the whole game. I stood in front of my TV the whole game.
Yeah. We talked about that, didn't we?
Like emotions and like, get this guy. What are you doing here? Just like thinking that the players could hear me through the TV at times.
Oh, they can. They definitely can, right? They definitely can.
Right.
I like to think that too. Let's go into some stats, man, because there's some stats here that we've got to break down. So, first downs. Over, under, who do you think won the first downs?
Gosh, I'm going to say us.
Idaho.
Really?
And it wasn't even close. They almost doubled us in first downs.
Holy cow. Wow.
25-15.
Wow. 25-15. Jeez.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that way.
I saw that and I was like, that's crazy.
Definitely in the second half, they were getting a lot more stuff was rolling their way in the second half. So
another stat that was crazy. Rushing yards, 158 for us, which is a 4 average. 58 for them, 1.8 average. They were averaging 200 plus yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, number 5, and I can't remember his name offhand, but
Anthony Woods.
Yeah, when I watched the film on him, I mean, he was all over the dang place in the other games, and we basically shut him down. I mean, he was not having a game at all.
No,
so that was nice to see.
Passing yards, we were 176 with a 9.8 average. They were at 336 with a 9 average as well. You know, with that offense, you know that they're going to get their passing yards. You just kind of have to contain them, and that's what our defense did. It was bend, don't break.
Yeah, I kept yelling during the game. Okay, just do the bend but don't break. That's fine. It's fine. Just bend but don't break.
Exactly. Total yardage, 334 for us, 5.8 yards average, 394 for them, which they were at about 5.7 average. Penalties, punting, which was, I think, really a stat that was great to see. We were averaging 47.5 yards a punt. We went into this, they didn't punt too many times, but man alive, 42.3 on theirs, which they were averaging like 52.
Is good. Like he pinned us a couple times. I was like, dang.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the other most important stats as well, possession, right? We had the ball for 27 minutes and 24 seconds. 18 minutes of that 27 was in the first half.
Oh my gosh.
18 minutes in the first half. So, you know, that it was a tale of two halves.
Yeah, it was. It totally was a tale of two halves. But
so
that's a big improvement compared to last year. I think last year we had the ball 18 minutes the
18
whole game.
Minutes. Yeah.
Is what it was.
So we got 10 more minutes out of it. They had the ball 31-43, and a lot of that was the second half.
Yeah.
They had the ball a lot. Trying to storm back.
Oh, there was a lot of possessions that they had the ball and we intercepted them or got a turnover and stuff. And so, you know, that's that bend but don't break again. It's like, okay, we're bending, and then we get that play.
Third down, there we were 8 for 14. They were 7 of 14.
We beat them on third down. Awesome.
That's right. one more. So, fourth down, we were 0 for 1. They were 2 for 4, which they go for fourth down a lot more than
they do.
Yeah. One of the best stats, 6 sacks for us, 2 sacks for them. I want to ask McCoy like how his body felt after that game.
He had him hurting. I mean, we were getting to him. I mean, the amount of times that we knocked him down too.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's just, we were talking about last year, people were getting frustrated that we weren't getting sacks, right?
Yep.
Playing UC Davis. Well, Hastings literally was throwing the ball so fast, there's no way we can get to him. Well, we get to Idaho and he holds onto the ball and is looking for receivers. And there was many times where he had a ton of time because we weren't getting to him.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see our secondary because they weren't showing it. But I'm like, you know, our secondary is doing a great job out there because he was looking everywhere to throw it and he couldn't. And we're just, you know, bringing it on him. So
he was running for his life.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of he's an amazing player and he does a really good job of running and keeping the play alive and finding some people down the field. But my goodness gracious, he had to be sore. He had to be tired too because he was running all over the place.
All over the dang place. And
he was all over.
You know, that's where that, you know, things like that happen where you get that backyard football when he's running like that. And that's where like the DBs can get off their guy because all of a sudden they're not doing regular routes. They're just playing playground football and they're turning other ways and stuff. And and then old number 80, just, God, he's good.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about that too because 3 times, I don't know. I was just like, don't let him get the ball.
I'm screaming at the TV. We know where he's going to go.
Exactly.
Someone 80, just have him follow him like we did with Ford against Eastern Washington when we had that one really good receiver.
Yep.
But after the first time, I'm like, okay, Gradney, this is your guy. Just stay on him. Like we can play zone everywhere else, but we're going to man up 80 and just freaking you stay on him.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. And he kept, like my wife was like,
it almost cost us
the same spot in the damn end zone every time. I was like, I know it's the same freaking spot. Oh, it's so frustrating.
He just walks right to the back of the end zone and just goes like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like he's already really good. Don't let him be that open. It's like
exactly,
man alive.
Last stat, red zone, we're 1 for 2. They're 2 for 3. They had a lot more plays than us just because that second half, but
Well, we had some big plays that didn't count as red zones. Too.
Exactly. We had some huge plays. So let's go into some stats with just, the offense. So Clifton McDowell, 11 for 18, 176, one touchdown. He had 2 sacks. There's a 76-yard pass that he got a lot of that on from to Junior Bergen for that touchdown. That was awesome. Eli Gilman, 12 carries, 84 yards, averaging about 7 yards there. And then Junior, 5 receptions, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, and that long 76-yard touchdown run. It was great to see. It was great to see us attack and attack and attack and not let up. And I think that the second half we kind of fell back into that same routine where I want to keep on attacking. Some of the things that I have questions on, I think we'll get to when we ask some questions, like what questions you have. That just some of the rotations that were in there at the times that they were. I have some questions on, but what did you think of the offense, Luke?
I mean, again, the tale of two halves. The first half, it was like, what offense is this? We're just, slicing and dicing and stuff. I think it was in the first half. Clifton makes that one run, and I think the guy was coming to sack him or something. He stiff arms that guy in the face. It just puts him down. It's like, dang. He's a dog out there, just, going for it. So, we've got our quarterback, I think. His throwing motion isn't the prettiest, but he's getting the ball to guys, and our receivers are making catches. And like we talked before, the O-line plays hard for him and stuff. Speaking of the O-line and the offense.
Yes. Oh, my
number
goodness.
61, man. So I get a text from a South Dakota State fan that's watching the game, and he goes, I think 61's my new most favorite player. Right when he drove that guy out of the bounds, and his helmet gets flying off.
Oh, yeah.
Old McGinnis, and I was like, you should have seen him a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure he learned his lesson because he is playing with fire. He looked like his helmet came on. He looked like a damn Viking out there. Like, looking to take people out. Whatever they said to him, they have got the fire going in him, and he is out there just playing his butt off. So, clap, bravo to McGinnis, man. You're playing like Nolan now. I question that. I wouldn't question it all now, man. He's out there just kicking butt. So, very impressed. And then the rest of our O-line too. They're all playing really hard. The only one I'm really worried about is Walker. I know he got injured. I didn't see him come back because I saw them put Cannon over there on the left side. So I'm not sure how hurt he was or his injury on that. So I'm hoping it's nothing too bad.
When he jogged off. He jogged off,
So I'm hoping it was just more preventative, like, hey, let's take it easy or something. But I don't remember seeing him come back, and I didn't see them putting Cannon over there on that side. So
exactly.
Overall, I think. Go ahead.
Also, I don't think they had since this is a bye week, they don't have the press conference.
No, they didn't have the presser. QB Club, no QB Club meeting tonight either. So I think this is usually a big recruiting week where the coaches don't get the week off. They're out recruiting and stuff. And, I'm sure they give a few days off to players so they can rest up and get treatment and stuff. But they'll be practicing this week too, getting ready. So. But I'm glad we're getting the bye we are, especially, man, there's nothing like giving a bye week after a win. Bye weeks suck after a loss, but after a win, man, it's awesome. And you're living the high life. So,
well, and you can kind of that win totally switches up the season. Like we talked about it the last couple podcasts. Like with that win, you're in the top 10. I think we're anywhere between 6 and 9.
We are 6 in the coaches poll and 9 in the media poll.
Yep. And other polls, they have us in between, kind of in between there, slotted. But you've got 2 really favored games that you should win. Knock on wood. You at UNC, and no, it's not at UNC. It's
UNC.
Yeah, we're going. UNC's home, and then we go to Portland State. Yep. Those are games that we should handle. And then you've got 2 kind of coin flip games in Sac State and the Kitties.
Which those 2 are playing this weekend.
Exactly. The
So
MSU goes down to Idaho, don't they?
goes down to Sac State this weekend.
Oh, is it Sac State? I thought they go to Idaho.
Pretty sure. I thought it was Sac. No, it's. I'm pretty sure it's Sac because
Really?
I'll double check here real quick. But they play both Sac and Idaho on the road.
Okay.
The Cats do. 1 second here. I'm almost there. Let's see here. Bringing up the Big Sky schedule. Yeah, Montana State at Sac State.
Oh, okay.
I was worried for a minute because I texted Andy Thompson earlier today. My friend is the head coach of Sac, and I was like, "Go beat up on them damn kittens, FTC," to give me a big thumbs up. So it was like all Grizz Nations, we're watching this weekend. I don't have another game to watch,
awesome.
so I'll be watching.
That's gonna be a good game.
Oh yeah, it should be
Saturday at 8:30.
I really hope Sac just kicks their ass. I know that there's a group of people out there that are like, oh, let's root for the other Montana team, but yeah,
no, hell no.
You want to root for a fellow Montana guy? Root for Sac State. Their head coach is Andy Thompson, who played here. Craig Paulson's on their staff. That we got Montana guys down there. That's who you should be rooting for.
And if they go to the pros, after they're done cheering for them. But if they're in the team down the way, I'm not cheering for them no matter who they play. Hell, I'm cheering for the other team. I'm rooting against them. 100%.
Like Cooper Kupp, I rooted against him his whole college career. As soon as he got to the pros, I'm like, I'm a fan.
Yep, exactly. It doesn't matter what they're playing. They could be playing chess, whatever. I'm cheering against them, 100%. So, also, I have a question to Sam Murder about the numbers. So, if he gets back to me, I'll reiterate what those were.
The TV numbers?
Yeah, the TV numbers. So, but yeah, defense. Holy cow. Holy moly. Some stats for you. 9 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 3 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble forced, and 1 fumble recovered. Man alive. Who would you pick to be the defensive player of the game?
Man,
there's a lot to pick from.
Well, and we had some accolades today too.
Yeah,
our kicker Glasgow got
special player of the week.
Yep, the team itself is FedEx FCS team of the week.
Yep, and then Ryder Meyer got defensive player of the week too.
Yeah, for me, like I thought Janicaro had an amazing game with that, especially getting that at the end. At the same time, like the unsung heroes, like Alex Gubner, who was held the entire game, like egregious, like I think they called maybe 2 holding penalties, and it was like, when they showed them, they were so bad that it was like, oh my gosh, they have to throw the flag. I mean, it's just like, I don't even know what holding is anymore, but like the fact that he doesn't complain and just keeps rolling up the sleeves and just playing hard because it gets frustrating when they're just holding you. He just keeps rolling.
And the reason why that Cale Edwards got to him that fast was the fact that Gubner got like 3 guys on him.
Yeah, he took on that play.
When they crossed, he took 3 guys, and Cale Edwards is wide open. So
that's why I'm like, I mean, Gubbs might be my player of the game because he's such an unsung hero on the defense right now, taking up blocks for the linebackers. At that last play when he takes up 3 guys so that Cale can get through, and what a great freaking tackle by Cale. I mean, they're like, oh, did he throw it forward or something? No.
Oh, no.
He totally. Once they showed the replay, it was like, no, that's a fumble for sure.
I knew for the right when I saw it, it's like he wasn't trying to throw it; he was trying to run away.
No, he was like, "Don't kill me. I'm tired of being hit."
Exactly. I would have to.
What about you? Who would you pick?
I would pick Riley Wilson.
Oh yeah.
So now he doesn't have the numbers, but 3 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 1 pass breakup. And, one of those QB hurries that he had, he forced an interception.
Yeah. Well, he had a tip for an interception too. So,
yeah. So he was just all over the place. I really feel like he's kind of just finding his niche right now. which is
he's still
amazing.
not playing his best ball. We haven't seen that
No,
yet. Like
no,
he's still, like you said, finding his niche and just like
and he's only a sophomore.
I think the ceiling's way higher for him. He's still
Yeah,
just gaining.
yeah, and he's only a sophomore, so
Yeah.
he's got 2 more years. That's who I would pick for that. But man, alive,
It's hard to argue with any of those. I mean, it's
yeah,
the defense play. I mean, they had their mistakes, but they played
yeah,
very well.
yeah.
And I think most of their mistakes came when it turned into backyard football. And 80 and
80 times.
Hayden Hatton, I believe is his name.
Yeah,
And yeah, just all over the place. And I'm so glad that he was offsides because
I've got a nickname for him, the Mad Hatter.
the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, like I think they need
That'd be a
to
good
give him
nickname.
right. He's just like all like pulls it out, One guy that we were forgetting about this and he won special teams player of the week, but Travis Benham, amazing job doing what he did, 47 yards in average for punting, but also Glasgow, which I thought. I put on Twitter that
Glasgow text me Glasgow for president.
Glasgow for president, man, because 2 for 2 for PATs, 3 for 3 from field goals, and I said it right after he got that 46-yard one. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude! Like seriously, 3 for 3 of 40 plus yards.
Well, people were questioning because he missed a few, the weeks past, and this was a get right game for him. I mean, he was on, like his confidence was back, and he was just stroking that ball. It was
he's a freshman, guys. He's a freshman.
Yeah,
like hopefully he's gonna be good.
Well, look how like the kickoffs too. He's pounding that ball through the end.
Oh yeah,
like if the coach says like, yeah, we don't want them to return it, no problem. Boom.
All right,
through
the kick it out of the. Yeah, I'll just kick it out of the end zone.
There was one I thought I was like, did that go through the goalpost? Like I was literally thinking, I was like, that was.
Oh, cool. It did. It did.
Oh, it did. Okay.
One of them did.
Okay, it was one of them. I was like, told my wife, I was like, did that go? Because I couldn't tell. I thought it went through the goalpost possibly. So
I believe it did. I said that too, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think that went through.
Yeah.
If it didn't, it was really, really close.
Yeah, really close.
So I think that those guys did a really good job. I got to give Grayson Peibel a lot of the credit too with long snapping.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't get near the credit as well. That's a tough job.
And he's been solid. We haven't had snaps over the heads or anything like that. And so it's harder than you think. I snapped in high school for a little bit. I remember sailing one over my punter's head and him getting crushed. Yeah, it's a harder job than you think.
So, man, like the scoring summary, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a field goal touchdown in the first quarters, and then you get a touchdown or a first half, and then you get a touchdown and a field goal in the second to get that. I'm missing a touchdown too here, but to get that 17-0 at halftime, or 17 to was it 17? Oh my gosh, I'm like 17.
7, I think.
20.
They scored in the second.
Yeah, because it was 20-7 right at halftime.
Yeah.
But man alive, to get those scoring summaries, you get the last field goal in the second half. But yeah, now I can read my notes. Gosh, good Lord. Field goal in the first quarter, touchdown in the first quarter. You get a touchdown in the second and a field goal in the second for that first half.
Yeah. No one saw that first half coming.
No.
None of us did. I don't care who you are. No one saw that coming in the whole nation except for the team themselves. It was like I was hoping we'd just keep it close. And
if you actually said that you probably believe that, there's no way. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Because even like us with our maroon goggles on, we were like, wow, if they don't play lights out, this could be a
risk. Yeah. I mean, like the scores we were picking last week was 28-24 for me and 31-28. We were right. Okay, we can pull it up. It's gonna be really close,
Yeah.
In the end, it was pretty close, but I mean, that first half, we were blowing them out of the water.
Yeah. And then that second half, we get a field goal. Man alive, it's crazy just how much those two halves drastically changed.
Yeah.
And that just worries me a little bit because if that game was 5 more minutes, it could have probably been a different story.
Well, and I think too, though, if it was 5 more minutes, we play like it feels like we were playing towards the clock. We're trying to run it down.
Yeah.
If it's 5 more minutes, I think we have a little bit different play calling rather than just. I mean, we wanted to get that clock running, and I can tell it. That's why we're doing what we did. I still think our third down play was not the best call. Like when we ran that screen play back to the line of scrimmage with Bergen, we understand getting the ball to Bergen, but let's get to the first down marker and then throw the ball. Let's get to the sticks and then throw it. I didn't agree with that call. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
You're not going to get me to agree with it just because why on third down when you know you need to get to the sticks, throw it back behind and just rely on. I know Bergen's good, but they're going to be swarming him, keying on him. Like we should have been keying on 80. Yep. So why not get it to someone that had been working all day, throwing it to White or Fonts, these slant routes? Just do that, or get it to the tight end, Schaefer out there, but make sure they're past the line, not back behind the line, make him work for it. That was the first 2 play calls I understood because we were wanting to run the clock, but that one I'm like, you have to throw the ball anyways. Why do that? I didn't understand that. So
this is a good segment for questions because I have a couple of questions here. I know you probably have more, but I know that one was kind of one that I had. But
sure.
My question: why did we use, the whole game we used Osmo and Gilman, right? And then I think it was like a crucial third down, or maybe it was a fourth down. I can't remember. But we automatically just like, hey, let's put Harrison.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
He's a good back, but if you're wanting short distances, he's probably not the back that we want. Yeah. And just throwing him in cold like that, he only had 1 carry. That was his only carry
of the game. The announcers who don't know our team at all are questioning it.
Yeah.
Going, oh, I thought he was kind of like the scat back guy that, it's like, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, even like I said, my wife was going, where's Gilman? I go, I don't know. Good question because he's been running great. And, especially like you said, on those short yardage, I'm going, put Osmo or Gilman in, let them pound the rock. Those guys, they fall forward, especially Gilman.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he gets the ball, I don't care what it is, he's always falling forward and getting those extra yards. So I don't care if you think they're keen on it, put them in because again, it feels like the old line blocks a little harder for him too. I don't know what it is, but man, I didn't understand that either. That was another play call that I really had a big question mark.
The play calling, another one, short yardage. We have a running quarterback and it's like 4th and 1. And we have him in shotgun.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Like,
I'm yelling at the TV. Get under center. Get under center.
I'm like, you're 6'4", 230. Like, why are you in shotgun?
He's a big dude out there.
Yeah, he is.
He is a big human. Yeah. And like I said earlier, when you see him do that stiff arm,
that
guy just went down. I mean,
yeah. Oh, and then earlier in the game,
goose the center and go.
And then earlier in the game, they had Osmo and Gilman as the 2 back, and then they had him under center. And I'm like, why don't you do that again? Like, seriously. Like,
get up there and push. Have those 2 pushed behind you.
Yeah. And then another question I had, 2 interceptions from the defense. We got 0 points off those interceptions.
Did we?
And I know, we wasted some time. But we didn't get any points off those interceptions.
Yeah, that's not good when you're not getting points off turnovers. I mean, those are extra possessions you're getting, especially against a team like Idaho.
Yeah,
that can score so fast.
You
gotta take advantage of those extra possessions that you get.
Well, and that's weird that you brought that up because I have their scoring. So they have 2 of their 3 scoring plays were less than 2 minutes.
Wow.
Their scoring drives.
It's fast.
Yeah, and then the other one was like 3 minutes.
So when we talk about how they want to bleed that clock out, but in that second half, you could tell they were speeding up. And I think they realized too that when they ran tempo, they actually in the first half where they were not trying to do their regular game plan, they bleed the clock. We were able to set up on defense and stop them. Yeah, obviously.
And especially when you're down, 17 whatever points, you can't do that.
No. And so they start running tempo, and that's when we start struggling. So that's one thing that does worry me going forward is like if I'm another coach, like for SAC or the Kittens or Portland State or Northern Colorado, I'm going, oh, let's run tempo on offense because that seems to be the one thing that can, stifle our defense a little bit and get us going back on our heels. So hopefully it was just this. I mean, it was the second half, so we're a little more tired and stuff, and it's just this Idaho game. But it does seem like we keep figuring. I feel like we keep getting better every week. Like every
we definitely took a
little better. We're taking the step in the right direction. It's not pretty.
No,
we're pulling off the W's. I mean, we had talked last week that there's 4 games and we got to try to pull 2. So if we lost to Idaho, well, we still have the chance to beat Sacker. Well, guess what? We got 2.
Yeah.
We got that Davis win and that Idaho win.
Yep.
Now take care of business against Northern Colorado and Portland State. Well, then another revenge game against Sac, another revenge game against Montana State, which are both in Missoula.
Yep.
I mean, man, we have a high ceiling right now. I mean, the whole thing is open, and especially, I'm going to throw out this scenario. Sac State goes and beats the Cats this weekend.
Oh,
well,
man.
Then guess what? Everybody in the conference has a loss to everybody, So then the conference race is back open again.
Yep.
And it could damn well come down to the brawl. So there's a whole lot of possibilities out there still right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, who knows? It's and Sac's not as good as they're ranked. I don't think they're playing close to people. I mean, they're
Well, they play better at home though, so that's kind of a good thing for them is they play a lot better at home.
They do. So hopefully they can pull that off against the Kittens this weekend.
Yeah, because I think that I don't keep track of the Kitties schedule, but I think that don't they have Idaho after Sac State?
Yeah, I think they go.
I think they go to
Idaho. They go. Here, I got the whole thing up here. So they go. They play Sac, and then week 9. Let me see what week 9 is. Week 9, then they go 2 weeks on the road.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard
at Moscow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you never know. Are they overlooking Idaho? Are they could fall at Sac State? Are they
And then they get Northern Arizona at home after that. So you never know.
That'll be an interesting game.
And then they get Eastern Washington at home.
Jeez.
Before they play us in the brawl. So they're back into their schedules.
That's hard. That's a hard schedule.
Yeah. And ours is too. I mean, ours isn't no slouch, but
no.
I mean, I am glad that, next week we play Northern Colorado at home. I'd rather play them than somebody else. And then we get Sac at home before going on the road to Portland State,
Yeah.
Playing in the high school field and then coming back home to play the brawl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shoot, our next
3 of the 4 games are at home.
3 of the 4 games are at home, which is crazy. You think about Idaho we just played, they only get 4 home games all year.
Exactly. Which I don't get
that. AD. I'm sure it has to do with the FBS schedule thing or something like that. But that's I mean, could you imagine what Grizz fans would be saying if we only had 4 home games?
But the only thing is that doesn't make any sense because you have 8? You have probably 8 conference games, right?
Yeah.
Usually half of those are home, right?
Well, so I'm gonna look at their schedule real quick because
that doesn't make any sense because 4, that's probably all the conference games.
In week 1, Idaho played Lamar on the road.
Jeez.
And then week 2 they go to Nevada.
At Cal.
Week 3 they go to Cal. Week 4 they're finally home where they play Sac State and they beat Sac State 36-27. Week 5 they're on the road at Eastern Washington.
Jeez. Wow.
Week 6 they were on the road at Cal Poly. Week 7 they get beat by Montana at home, which was awesome, 23-21. Next week they're off like us.
Okay.
Week 9 they get the Cats at home.
Yep.
Week 10, they're at Northern Colorado. Week 11, they're at Weber State. Week 12, which if Weber wants it anyway to make their season up, they're going to win the games like that. And then week 12, they get Idaho State at home.
So they've got the Idaho's got the road the favorable road, favorable schedule. Even though Idaho State, that's a rivalry game. That's going to be.
Yeah, and Idaho
I
State's
wouldn't.
playing better ball. I mean,
Yeah.
I caught the end of that game this weekend where they ended up pulling it off against Eastern.
Oh yeah, 21 unanswered points. So
yeah. I mean, they were down big and came back. 27 or whatever it was. That was huge. So I mean, I'm an Idaho State fan right now.
Yeah, exactly. One more question I had.
Sure.
We continue to struggle at the end of the game with the ball in our hands. Like I don't like, and this is for anyone out there. Hit us back. What do we do? Like it's not just a 1-time, 2-time thing. It's been every single game.
We're relying on the defense, and
we give the ball back.
They step up and they get it back for us.
Exactly.
Again, I couldn't believe it when we did it again.
Yeah.
Sack, fumble, pick up. I mean, it was like,
yeah,
you gotta be kidding me. This is just crazy. But every week it's happening that way, and it shouldn't be. Like, to your point, we should take that offense that we have in the first half and continue it in the second half. Quit. It feels like we're changing the playbook to go, okay, let's do Bobby ball now and milk this clock out and just get out of here.
Yeah.
Man, stay aggressive. Go win.
Exactly.
I mean, the guys were playing great. Let them keep playing.
Yeah.
Put 50 on them, who cares?
It's like doing the whole prevent thing.
Yeah.
On your defense with your offense. It's like you're putting one hand behind their back. Like, don't do that.
I mean, thank goodness our defense just plays balls to the walls 24/7 all the time out there, because if they didn't, other teams probably wouldn't have gotten that sack, fumble, and recovered the football. But those guys are just playing with their hair on fire out there, which is awesome.
Well, and that's what's happened in the playoffs, though, is that we've relied so much on our defense that by the time the playoffs come around, our guys are nicked up. Our guys are tired. And I think it really weighs on our defense, where you're not looking at the same defense when you get into the playoffs than you did in the middle of the year. And I think we've got to switch that up. We've got to do something where if we want to make some deep runs, we've got to get our defense off the ball.
We need to do like we did basically replicate the first half
and do it the second half.
Into a full 4 quarters. We just need to replicate that for full 4 quarters. And man, we're going to be hard to stop if we can do that.
Yeah.
We still haven't come close to playing the perfect game.
No.
That first half was pretty close to almost a perfect half. We kind of, it wasn't perfect, but it was close. You replicate that twice. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Sky's the limit for us. So,
and ultimately, you mess up on 3 plays basically, where we leave the Mad Hatter alone in the back of the end zone,
wide ass open.
Yeah,
you don't want to leave.
Yeah. You don't get those, so it'll totally change the ball game. So,
but
crazy.
To your point too, with that our defense and everybody working so hard, the bye didn't come. This is a perfect time for a bye.
Oh yeah,
after a huge win like this, we know guys are banged up. Get them the rest they need, get them the treatment, and then come back. And instead of having, some huge game again, not that every game is not big, at least it's Northern Colorado at home, where we're playing in the confines of Washington Grizzly Stadium, playing against a team that has been playing pretty good ball. They're playing teams close, so we're playing hard. We can't just look past them. But I'd rather be playing them than having, Sack coming in right away this next week. So
yeah, I would too. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. I wouldn't put it past Northern Colorado to make it a close game, because
they very well could.
Like everyone says, is the Montana on their schedule is their Super Bowl, right? That they would love to make Montana look bad.
Oh yeah,
and so you have to look at it that way, and I'm sure they will.
Especially now that we're 6th in the nation in the Coach's Bowl. It's like the evil empire's back, and everybody wants to knock us off, because there's nothing people love more, it seems like, out there, if you're not a Montana fan, than watching us do bad or stub our toe or fall down.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, even we beat a great team in Idaho, and the BS stuff you see out online, and like people just like, oh, Idaho, and it's like, man, we won. We went out there and beat the team that no one said we were going to beat. So shut up.
My thing is that, Idaho, without their trophy, the Stein, because they paraded that around all year. If you look at what they did online, they paraded that thing around like it was, a piece of gold.
That's also why I
did
wonder.
We do the same thing?
Well, I wonder if maybe that's why Old Hauk did his little dance and running out there like he did because of the parading around. Now, the one thing I will say is right after the game, I wish we had QB Club this week because I wanted to ask Hauk about it. Him and Eck talked for quite a while. Eck had a lot to say to him, and it didn't seem like it was malice.
No, it
or
didn't look like
that.
it was bad.
It seemed like they were having a good conversation. So I'm just curious. I'm like, gosh, I wish I could have heard what they were saying. But yeah, we've had, a lot of pictures I noticed and stuff. So Trajan Cotton actually posted a picture of the Stein on the bus afterwards, and so I hit him up on Instagram. I said, "Hey, was there anything in it?" Because as I said last time, there was a little note for us in it, and he said, "I don't think so, not that I know of this time." So, if there was,
I think Levi had it when they were on the field, and there was a ton of stuff in it.
There was stuff in it, yeah.
There was stuff in it.
It looked like they broke it almost or something. I think the top just popped off.
Yeah,
but yeah, it looked like there was stuff in it. But according to Trajan, there was nothing bad in it. So
bad in it,
yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that's other than the defense playing great, the 3 times that we missed the Mad Hatter in the back of the end zone. And then, see, this is a question I have for Idaho, right? That 2-point conversion, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. It almost felt like they overthought that. Why have Hatton try to throw the ball there? I'm glad they did that. I was
I'm sure. Yeah, me too.
But I didn't understand at all what the hell they were thinking.
I didn't either. What they were doing was totally working. Why do something that takes way too much time? And I did not get that. But all I care is that we got the win. And we got a bye this week, which I don't know what I'm going to do without. I'll probably watch some FCS football.
Yeah, like you said, we can watch the Sac State hopefully take down the Cats if you want.
There you go. I don't know if I can watch the kiddies. So
no, I can watch them if Sac's pounding on them. So.
There you go. I can do that too.
I did want to throw out this. So earlier tonight, I found out a little piece of history that I did not know about with the little brown Stein.
Okay.
So there's a picture online of Dennis Murphy, who's one of our old head of the training staff with the Stein.
Okay.
And so Gary Hughes, who used to be a big part of the University of Montana, and a lot of people will know him, Gary, out there, posted below that. He said, I'm just read it word for word. He said, "Let's give former Grizz football coach Larry Donovan a big thank you. He found the little brown Stein, created by Missoula sports writer in 1938, in the storage room in the Adams Field House. Larry had it restored with silver letters representing Montana and yellow for Idaho. Thanks, Coach Donovan." So for years, that thing was in the storage locker in the Adams Center. And I think they were playing back and forth and no one even knew about it. And or they forgot about it, must have thought it was lost. And Larry Donovan found it apparently and had it restored. And that's when it came about again. So
that's crazy.
I thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit of history that most of us don't know. But Gary Hughes' ties back to the University of Montana are huge. He's been there forever. And in the Missoula community. So just shout out to Gary for that cool little tidbit that he posted tonight on that. So
that's awesome. That's definitely awesome. Sam Herder got back to me. He said, not yet, but it should come out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So if you guys are waiting for those numbers, definitely check out tomorrow. We can
always bring them up next week too.
Exactly. We had a couple questions.
I saw some on Twitter.
Yeah, we had some on Twitter. Oh, I should write them down so I don't have to look for them. MT Dizzo, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, but that's a good one down here. Sorry. Corey, I have a question. Does McDowell have another year of eligibility with after this season? When he transferred here, I thought I read somewhere that he had 2 years of eligibility left. But when I look at the roster bio on his Go Grizz website, it says he's a senior. I heard that as well.
My understanding is it does say senior, but he does have one more year of eligibility left.
Yeah.
Because why they have senior down too, I'm not sure, but my understanding is he does have one left because of the COVID year.
The COVID year, yeah.
So we could have him for one more after this.
Yeah, I do believe that's true.
But I think it's going to be up to him if he wants to play another year or not, because the other thing we see a lot too with these 7th year seniors, that they're tired of going to school. It's like, especially if you're getting a little beat up and stuff, but it's just, we'll see. It's up to him. Because last year towards the end of the year, I don't know a lot of people remember this, Governor ran out with the seniors. On senior day. He was considering not coming back possibly, and then decided to come back. So, because he could graduate. So there's a lot of those kids that are in that kind of tipping point where they could or couldn't. So
I think with McDowell, being one of the guys, this is his first time starting in college. So being able to almost like, hey, if I do well, maybe I'll be one of the guys. I think that might allure him to come back.
He definitely is. If you look after the game, he's taking pictures of the Stein with the players and stuff. Yep. Watch during the game. Watch how the O-line responds to him. Watch how the other players respond to him and how he commands it. I mean, you can tell he's now the leader on offense. He is. Yeah. Yep. Like I was complaining, I was like, we need someone when it was back between him and Vidlac to be that Sneed and do that. And again, where I really saw that was that one game where his helmet pops off at the end. And he comes up, and he's just full of fire. I was like, okay, that's the guy. That's what we need on offense to get this team fired up, playing hard. And I think he finally grabbed that's going with it. And it's nice to see the coaching staff rolling with it too, because I really think it brings a sense of balance to the offense when you have that specific leader and you're not kind of bouncing around still, not without a defined leadership on the O. So I'm excited to see where this just keeps going, because I think it's just going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, exactly. Bridger asking for a friend. Do you use paper towels, Kleenex, or your shirt to wipe up tears of joy?
For me, it's my shirt. I'm pulling up as I'm standing in front of the TV as the tears are rolling down. I'm wiping them up.
Heck yeah, you're not
crying like a baby after we beat the Cats this year.
You're not wasting time to go get a Kleenex. You're just like using your shirt, man.
Yeah. Maybe if I was an old fella and had a handkerchief or something, I'd bring up the handkerchief, but it's just the shirt. And it's not the sleeve. I'm going, showing the gut, bringing the gut, on the shirt up, wiping up the tears.
Awesome. Bridger also says, also just an observation, seems like we could be snowballing to some good momentum and confidence to end the season. Seems very reminiscent of Grizz teams in the past. Yep. Lots to work on, but things really are starting to click. And I totally agree, because you look at those earlier 2000 teams like 2007 and 2008, like they had some Big Sky games that were rough, that were really, really, really tight. And so I think that we're doing well. We don't want to, take a step back by any means. We want to keep on going forward. But there are some things that I see that are good.
Yeah, I think he's right on. I mean, that's Bobby's MO is we want to be playing our best football by the time we hit November. And right now we're on that upward, ever since the NAU game, we were kind of started, on that upward trend. We're playing better and better each week. So we very well could see more better football as we go on here.
Yeah. Did you see, and I think I sent it to you, the Facebook thing that I sent you?
Is that the one on NDSU? Yeah.
Oh man. I'm gonna I forgot what it would look like, but
so it's a lot of people have seen this. It's a Family Guy sketch with Meg, where she's like, "You guys always act like you're better than me." Well, they have Meg as the bison.
Yep.
And then sitting down in their tuxes is the Jacks, the Yotes, and the UND Fighting Sioux or Fighting Hawks, however you want to call them. So,
oh man, I just like because I was going through the Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and the Jacks are number 1, South Dakota's number 4, and UND's number 9, and then there's NDSU at 15. Like they broke some type of a record that I read online, like 170 some polls or something in the top 10.
Yeah, they. I was.
That's
A lot of
nuts.
people were asking that today. When was the last time NDSU wasn't in the top 10?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, yeah, they lost to UND this weekend. I still think NDSU is probably a top 10 team. I don't.
Oh, I think so too. I wouldn't want to face them.
Yeah, they're still a darn fine football team.
Yeah.
And come playoff time, I hope they're on the other side of the bracket. So
yeah. Oh, sorry, I was reading something that just. It says, I missed the new waiver being passed, but a big deal here. The FCS playoff games no longer count toward the 4-game redshirt rule.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, that was just posted 1 hour ago from Sam Herder.
Oh, wow. So that changes things, because in the past, that 4-game thing, included the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they eliminate that, that's huge.
Yeah.
Especially if you have injury or something. Like, that's just, for us, we had that Utah Tech game where we played Iverson, which I still don't know why we did that.
Yeah.
But now knowing that we could play him in the playoffs if we needed him or something, I mean, that guy's talented, and holy cow. I mean, just like, hey, here's more weapon that we could have, especially if there's injuries or something. So that's huge.
That's huge. Crazy. Yeah. Just
nice job, watching the Twitterverse and getting breaking news here on the podcast.
I know, right? I just clicked off because I was looking through our questions, and it just came up, and I'm like, so I had nothing to do with it, but I had to read that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, that could be huge for a lot of teams.
Huge. Sure. Huge. Anything else? Guys, we'll probably have we're gonna preview next week Northern Colorado with a special guest. So make sure you tune in for that, and we'll get you all cut up with that. But we'll have questions, and we'll put those out on Sunday, usually on eGriz and on Twitter as well, if you guys have questions. But we'll preview Northern Colorado next week on that short week. It feels weird not previewing a team, but man, if we don't, we're gonna be like,
that's feel weird. I was trying to see if I thought there was another question under there, but
I couldn't find any.
Okay,
but you might find one more than.
No, I think these are some older ones. So
yeah,
I
think that's just older ones, but
it's just double checking. So yeah, it's awesome to see all the different posts though, from there's a lot of players were fired up about this because they're all reposting stuff and throwing things out there, and then to finally get some accolades too for our players that are playing hard. That's just gonna build their confidence. I'm just so glad that we're starting to get stuff like that and rolling out there. So
definitely something that is well deserved and should be talked about. But it was nice to see after a big win, the media actually give props to Grizz.
There's some Grizz fans that were getting into it with Craig Haley and Sam Herder today, and Big Mac. Kyle Sample was. Yeah, and Sample's a huge Grizz fan. He's a former reporter too, so some of the things he was talking about,
he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong. And the thing was, he was calling them out on it, and they were getting all defensive and pissed off, and Kyle was right.
Yeah.
So if you want a nice little read of some banter back and forth, go find Kyle Sample or Brian McLaughlin or Sam Herder or Craig Haley, and they were all just going back and forth today. So,
yeah,
kind of wild, but
whoa, yeah, I just read one that Kyle.
They really
Craig Haley.
But the thing is the national sports writers are giving us props today. Like
Yeah.
they put us back up there. They're putting us in the play. Like I saw Sam posted one today, I think, of some playoff seeding, and he's got the Grizz as a 6 seed right now.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, whoa, so people look at that win against Idaho as not just,
yeah,
another easy win or something. Idaho was a good team.
Yep.
And for us to do that on the road, I mean, 2 ranked wins on the road back to back. Who'd have thought?
When was the last time that happened?
I think
I can't remember a back-to-back ranked wins.
Someone put it out there. I think someone looked it up, and it was in the mid 2000s. I want to say it was the last time we did that. Earlier mid 2000s. So it's been a while.
That's nuts.
Been a while.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So definitely we're on the right track. We get some guys healthy, and just keep on grinding, keep on making those steps forward and not taking steps backwards. So I think we'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see what the future holds for the Montana Grizzlies.
That's right. Well, guys, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We greatly appreciate it. We look forward to talking sports each and every week. I just really appreciate everyone listening and taking the time. We love to hear from you. So get a hold of us either on Twitter at fightonmontana or on Instagram at fightonmontana, or find Luke or both of us on Facebook as well. But spread the word about the podcast and keep on listening, and tell your friends and family, and keep on listening, man.
Yeah, it was funny. Last week I had a few people comment. They're like, man, you're pretty pumped up and think the Grizz can win. I'm like, yeah, darn right we do. We think they can win. It's going to happen. And now that it did, man, it just like, it feels even better. It's so great. Like, just, God, that feels good to beat Idaho and bring that Stein back. I mean, just, I'm so happy for the team to bring that Stein back home and put it back in the coach's office. And now we got one more trophy we need to bring back and put it back in its rightful spot.
Exactly. One more. That would be awesome.
Oh, man.
The year and all the sweeps.
Oh, yeah.
The revenge tour.
Heck yeah. Love it.
All right. Well, guys, we will see you next week, and go Grizz.
Go Grizz.